Merry Christmas, Will.
Merry Christmas, Tom.
It's time for our second Christmas episode. As aforementioned, our basic setup for this Christmas was Will picks one, I pick one, Will picks one, I pick one, and then we do our favourite Christmas TV specials.
So feel free to tune in every other week.
Yes. Well, no, I think I've been shafted really because one of your choices would have been It's a Wonderful Life, but you knew that I was going to pick it. I should have been given another. Well, anyway, I won't get bitter about it. But Scrooged, this is my second. It's my second favorite Christmas movie of all time. Christmas Vacation #3, Gremlins Elf, with It's a Wonderful Life being a firm top. I just adore this film to no end. The final 10 minutes is, I think, one of my favorite 10 minutes of film ever, not just Christmas.
7 o'clock, Psycho sees Santa's workshop, and only Lee Majors can stop them. In the night the reindeer died. Be here.
Well, you can't show that commercial. That thing looked like the Manson family Christmas special.
Think I'm way off base?
Yes, you're a tad off base, sir.
Frank Cross is more than the youngest network president in television history.
Call security, have them change his locks, and toss him out of the building.
Oh, he's fired? It's Christmas.
Thank you. Call accounting. Stop his bonus. Oh, watch out.
Ah!
He's a thoughtful boss,
Thanks, boys. Get the nurse.
a generous brother,
What did he give you last year?
I don't remember. A shower curtain. Excuse me, ma'am. I think you dropped something here.
and a true humanitarian.
I can't get the antlers glued onto this little guy. We've tried crazy glue.
Have you tried Staples?
But his life is about to change.
Woo-wee! That was a good one.
You are going to be visited by 3 ghosts tomorrow at noon.
God, tomorrow's bad for me, Lou. As a matter of fact, the whole rest of the week is a washout now.
Anyone who thinks he hates Christmas is wrong.
I think it's one of the most beautiful speeches ever delivered on film. And I think Bill Murray does the best work of his career, second to Groundhog Day. No, I don't know how I feel about that.
Go back to Jersey, you moron!
It's ghosts he hates.
I love that bit!
I'm the ghost of Christmas present.
Bill Murray, Karen Allen,
It sounded like you'd seen a ghost.
A ghost?
John Forsythe, Bobcat Goldthwait,
Hey! You glad to see me, or is this a shotgun in your pocket? You know this one?
Everybody knows this one. Let's go now.
How does everybody know this one?
Carol Kane, Robert Mitchum,
I really care!
David Johansen.
Oh, I'm having the weirdest day!
This holiday season, see Bill Murray get Scrooged.
Hey, back off, big man. That may work with the chicks, but not with me.
Maybe, I don't know. Well, they're both in many ways the same film. They are Bill Murray being just brilliantly funny and brilliantly, charming, I guess is the word, and just so cruel as, Phil Connors and Frank Cross, these over-the-top arseholes, and then that pure, undiluted Bill Murray affection and warmth that he taps into, that when he does tap into it, it's just splendid. What's your relationship with Scrooge, Bob?
I think I've only watched it 3 times in total.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's usually on what Channel 5 movies.
I was just going to say Channel 5. This is the Channel 5 movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably on when I've come back from a rehearsal, or it's like a cold winter's day My dad's doing ironing, and Scrooged is on. And there's
So
a
is
roast.
this one of the first times you've watched it from start to finish?
Oh no, I watch it in full when it's on. But yeah, I was probably introduced it to late high school, about 15ish. It's yeah, no, it's excellent, and I'm a huge Bill Murray fan.
Yes,
This is Bill Murray at his best.
it is indeed. Is this? Yeah, what is your top Bill Murray? I think it's Groundhog. We're both Groundhog Day.
It's Groundhog Day. Yeah, I do like What About Bob?
Yes. Baby steps, baby steps. YouTube comments. One of my favourites for Christmas, but I watch it all year long. Don't like that. What are your Christmas movies that you can watch all year round? Well, I watch Gremlins and Die Hard all year round.
Yeah.
These
I
movies
can
are
watch
too Christmassy.
I can watch Love Actually any time of the year as well.
Whereas you couldn't pay me to watch Love Actually any time of the year, even at Christmas. And it's a great feeling. Every time I see the scene, I cry like a fucking baby. Every time. Me too. I cried again last night. I've ended up watching it twice now in the space of 2 weeks. I watched it yesterday, and I watched it the Saturday before that. Just showing different people, and both times like a baby. Just gets me I mean, the big tip over the edge is, and it's a good feeling. It's really better than I've felt in a long time. And the tears in his eyes, I'm actually genuinely welling up now. And then the absolute kicker is little Calvin. Did I forget something, big man? Just love the respect, the absolute respect and honor. I mean, as a child who used to be called Chief by like a man who was very important to me in the world, in like my pantos and like getting into all this acting business. And even how small I was, he would still call me Chief. It's like, there's that meme, isn't it, of like, what does he call it? When the kebab, you don't know respect until a kebab guy calls you boss. Like, it is that sort of feeling of great love. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. Merry Christmas, wherever you are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, took a turn.
And Merry Christmas to you too.
Yeah. I just realised that the captain and the psychologist from Lethal Weapon are both in this. I need to stop watching YouTube at 2 a.m. This is, of course, a Richard Donner movie. Are you a Lethal Weapon man, Will?
Not seen it.
No, it's very good. What are the the classic Richard Donners are The Lost Boys.
Yes. 1987.
Oh. No, 87 was Lethal Weapon, Will, I'm afraid. Lost Boys was... Where is it? Where's the fucking thing? Where is it? Well, he directed The Omen in 1970s. Oh, he didn't direct The Lost Boys. Joel Schumacher directed The Lost Boys.
You're a fool.
Richard Donner produced The Lost Boys. And he produced it for so long that when it came around to them actually getting the money, he was like, I'm bored with this. And you were spot on correct, The Lost Boys is 87. I'm going to retire. This has been a terrible day. Richard Donner grew up, directing all of those classic TV shows, You Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, all those, The Rifleman, Have Gun, Have Travel, The 11th Hour. He directed the wonderful Twilight Zone episode, Nightmare at 2,000 Feet, with William Shatner, where he thinks he sees something on the wing. Did he? Didn't he? Did he? Didn't he? Who knows? But today we are indeed talking about Scrooged. Let's dive straight into, what do we do first on this show? 10-minute stretch? I always forget.
I think we do. I think
10-minute stretch.
We do.
We do. Will, give us your 10-minute stretches, buddy.
Oh, I think that first ghost apparition leading into him and going,
the wonderful,
okay.
John Houseman, not John Houseman.
Yeah.
John Forsyth. It's one of the Forsyths. It's one of the Johns. It's one of
the ghost of Bruce Forsyth. Good game, good game. Is there anyone there?
Is there anybody there? Oh, I felt somebody in my bed. I felt some, but there's nothing in this game for two in a bed. John Forsyth. John Forsyth as Lee Hayward, the sort of pseudo Marley. Yes, the pseudo Marley. This is my favourite Scrooge. This is my favourite Christmas Carol.
Yeah, it's up there. It's a good because I'm a fan of when a modernised adaptation is done very well, and I'm like I like that. Like with early Sherlock, very good.
Yes. You're a big Shakespeare guy. What do you think of those sorts of modernised Shakespeares?
It's difficult with Shakespeare because of the language as well. Like what in the Romeo and Juliet, when they've got rapiers written on the gun, stuff like that. That's a bit. All right, calm down.
Yeah. It always feels like making it up as they go along.
Have you seen the Chris Eccleston Macbeth, where he's perched naked on the bath?
Or is he a chef? Oh no, that's the David Tennant Macbeth. Which one? I've seen a Macbeth where they're chefs, and they want to be like better chefs. I think it's David Tennant, and David Tennant's a chef.
Is this an SNL?
David Tennant, right? I'm going to look up David Tennant's Macbeth. You give us a few more.
I'll talk about
stretches.
All right, okay. I'll talk about Shakespeare more.
God, no.
No, that's good. Oh, is it not? That final, I'll put the final 10 minutes in.
Yeah, definitively.
I've always been on and off with Christmas Past.
Okay, yeah, Carol Kane. Yeah, Carol Kane's a real divisive one. I have grown to love her, but it was Hamlet and he's a chef. Oh no, that's Hamlet with Patrick Stewart.
Hamlet, yeah, that was that was Patrick and David.
I'm gonna find this bloody Macbeth's a chef.
McChef.
Yes, my ex really, really didn't like Carol Kane in this movie, and I get it. You know, she's a little bit annoying.
But I also party dress on.
I got my party dress on. Oh, Frankie, you know I like the rough stuff. But I also think it's so intentionally annoying, and then that makes Bill's annoyance adds it even funnier because we're annoyed. You know, so I do, but I can see what you mean. I don't think she's in my change. I mean, no, she's definitely not in my change. Is she in yours?
She's not.
Here we are. Macbeth chef. Top chef Joe Macbeth is passionate about food. It's almost a religion with him. His dedication to cooking has made Duncan Doherty's restaurant one of the best in Britain. But when Duncan gets all the credit, Joe's jealousy, encouraged by the prophecies of 3 mysterious binmen and by his ambitious wife Ella, lead him to take a desperate step that ultimately destroys him. And it was James McAvoy playing Joe Macbeth.
When was this on? What was it on?
Let me get the James McAvoy. I would be very happy if this swiftly turned into a complete study of Joe Macbeth. Just what a terrible name, Joe Macbeth. We will be getting a new Macbeth with Francis McDormand and Denzel, which sounds very exciting.
They need to choose different Shakespeares because we just keep getting Macbeth after Macbeth. Did you see the other one? It came out 2016ish?
Fassbender and Marion Cotillard.
Yeah, excellent.
It was excellent.
Like not enough Lady Macbeth.
Not enough Lady Macbeth. Which is annoying.
The important part. No, yes. I'd love to see a modern adaptation of Antony and Cleopatra. that sort of.
Okay, yeah.
I'm fascinated with that story. But also Othello. I like Othello. Did you see the Rory Othello?
Yes,
Adrian?
with Adrian Lester.
That was excellent.
Very good. Yes, that was good. Here we are, Joe Macbeth. A chef and his restaurant hostess wife resort to murder to take ownership of a high-class Glaswegian restaurant. So we had James McAvoy as Joe Macbeth, Keely Hawes as Ella Macbeth, Richard Armitage as Peter Macduff. Yeah, no, it was an all-star cast. Well, just those three. Pigs Will Fly is sung by the Binmen to the tune of Colonel Bogey. Billy's line, just call him the Scottish chef, is a sly reference to the superstition in the theatre that it is bad luck to mention the title Macbeth.
Just call him the Scottish chef.
Everybody get excited for our upcoming episode on Macbeth Chef.
What are your 10-minute stretches?
My 10-minute stretches are, again, the first Ghost, John Forsyth, then Claire, the wonderful Claire, Karen Allen. Oh, God, I fall in love with her every time. I mean, I fall in love with her as Marion Ravenwood, obviously Indiana Jones, but Claire Phillips is just one of the most pure, loving. She's up there for me with Sally Albright as like movie characters that I just fall in love head over heels with every time. She's just so loving and pure and wonderful. I just adore her in this film. And so when the first time she comes to the studio, that's a big one for me. The Past, with the wonderful David Johansen, who you may know better as the singer of Hot, 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 Dun, 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 Feeling Hot, Hot, Hot.
Really?
Yeah, Bill Murray's close friend. That's how he got the role. Yeah, wonderful stuff there. Then the Ghost of the Present. I put her in there, and mainly because of the stuff that we get with the Cooley family, with Alfred Woodard, and little Calvin, and seeing how terrible.
He just loves the television.
He does love the television. Nicholas Phillips is the name of Calvin Cooley, and he just didn't act again. He has 2 other credits as Alvin in a movie called Night of the Cyclone with Chris Christopherson, and he played Randy Jackson in the 4-hour TV movie The Jacksons, An American Dream.
It sounds like a porn name, doesn't it?
Randy Jackson. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, the wonderful Alfred Woodard, so wonderful as Grace in this movie. I really, she's just marvelous. And then the final speech, which words just can't express. Mainly improvised. Well, most of his dialogue in the film was improvised, and you can tell because they're like so clearly like the camera movement is actually a little bit shaky, and it's so clear that he's just following him, like they say they're following Francis.
My, what a glorious day! There has never been such a day. Say there, you lad!
Yes, sir? Are you talking to me?
And take 3.
Yes, indeed. Buy me a goose. The biggest goose in all of London.
Camera 3, follow the coin, all the way down.
Oh, I got it.
Holy shit, that's Frank Cross.
He's drunk. He's nuts. He's finished.
Ah! Shut up! Oh, don't touch that dial and stay on him!
What's your name, son?
Mike.
Mike, say hello to your folks, will you?
Hi.
Mike is doing a great job here for us tonight. Thank you. Thank you.
That's Frank Cross.
I am...
Is he supposed to be in the show?
I am the president of the IEC Network. Good evening and Merry Christmas. With me in the booth is Elliot Loudermilk. Elliot, how are we doing up there?
Open his mic.
Wonderful, but I don't think you're gonna be president tomorrow.
At least I am the president of the network tonight. Tomorrow morning I may not be.
And as I say, gets me every time. And I think it is that improvisational quality that makes it so effective. It's clearly not written. This is clearly a man's epiphany. Like he flubs his little lines so many times. Like, yes, I may I may not be the president today, but I am tonight. Like it's so. I mean, of course, you can act confused, and the greatest actors can do it, and flustered. But it is so clearly improvised and so clearly from the heart. It tremendously beautiful sentiment. Tom's weirdly specific favourite part of the film. We have a bunch here. Father loves Beaver. Code 9, Grace on the phone. It's so, how many times has he fired people like this? The grab of the file when Robert Mitchum goes, you should look over this. And he doesn't give him it and he has to leap into the elevator. You can shoot me, but go easy on the Bacardi, Frank. Calvin as a tree with his little face. They're trimming the tree. We don't have a tree. Yes, we do. Oh, lovely. The man on fire. And sorry, I thought you were Richard Pryor. Obviously, Richard Pryor, famously around this time, covered himself in white rum and set himself on fire. That's what that gag is. That's exactly what Attila the Hun said. But when he saw his mother, Niagara Falls. Niagara Falls, Frankie Angel. My favourite Ghost of Christmas Past thing is, it's a bone, you lucky dog. At the end of the Frisbee bit, where the doors close on Claire and the Frisbee music's like speeding up, and she's like, Merry Christmas, Lumpy. Anytime that Claire says Lumpy, wonderful. The Richard Burton bit, idea I got first idea. Which comes from an old SNL sketch that Bill Murray did where he performed as Richard Burton. We call up the A and P. If they're under A, and if they're not there, they're under P. The fake ghost where he's in the elevator and he thinks he's met the Ghost of Christmas Future. And he's like, oh, you pussy. Great stuff. The real ghost when it comes over the TV, all the TVs, that's just a great effect. I think all in all, most of the CGI still looks pretty great. Especially the hanging out of the where he puts him through the window and he's hanging. I think that still looks great. Now, the elevator button shooting off with the Ghost of Christmas Future. Just all of the Ghost of Christmas Future stuff. So visually dynamic, so very good. When Loudermilk realizes that somebody also stole his watch, he's like, somebody stole my watch. And what sort of guy would do a live broadcast on Christmas Eve? Only you, Frank. And then the guy who's like, the SS Minnow, James, the SS Minnow, no points this round. Absolutely gets me every time. It's not too late, is it, Claire? Oh, no, sorry. It's not too late. It's Christmas Eve. It's not too late. And Claire mouthing, no, it's not too late. Wonderful. You remember this Kama Sutra? I think we could achieve this tonight without serious physical damage. And then you're like bowling a marlin. Whole world, Claire, whole world. And then, as I've mentioned, my two favourite parts: big man, God bless everyone, and then Alfred Woodard coming up and she just claps her hands, and it's such a wonderful motherly reaction. It's not like she doesn't start crying. It's not like oh, it's like yes. But my all-time favourite part of the film, Goosebumps. Can you get me to the IBC building in less than 3 minutes? Which floor? Wonderful. Will, your specific favourite part?
Well, you've pretty much stolen everything on my list. A few honourable mentions to repeat some of yours. The floor, out of the window, hanging out of the building. That I love that. I like the Suddenly Seymour reference at the end.
Yeah, well, he's just done Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah. It's a weird one. I don't know how I always feel like it obviously doesn't work because he's talking to a movie theatre and he's like, okay, everybody on the left. But I was watching it with friends last night, and like there were 4 of us, and it was like, yeah, you, the guy who talked the whole way through the movie. Sing to your fellow man, give him a helping hand.
I like the when he's having the argument with the cameraman. They're like, well, specifically, you can see her nipples.
You can't even see those nipples. And these guys are really looking.
And I like the guy trying to put little antlers on the mouse.
Don't you dare. Have you tried Staples? Staples? I love that he comes up and he goes, hey, Lumpy. He's like, what? I'm known as Mr. Cross. I'm new here. I'm sorry. I just heard Lumpy. Soundtrack corner. Put a little love in your heart and the world will be a better place. It has to be that. But
I'll throw a bit of Van Morrison in there.
Yes, definitely. Brown Eyed Girl never goes amiss. Woolly Bully, good little novelty track. Woolly Bully, Woolly Bully. Oscar Travesty. Now, usually we wouldn't go to Oscar Travesty, but that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Oh, okay.
Because we usually wouldn't do Oscar Travesty, I mean, for a comedy like this. But I really think there are some nominations I want to discuss. So it does get some nominations. It gets a nomination for Best Makeup Effects, obviously deserved, but it loses to Beetlejuice, which is understandable.
Oh yeah, that's
and Coming to America. But for me, it's screenplay, and but I don't know. Can we give it screenplay because it's so improvised?
I don't think we can. I don't think we can.
Which is why we need to give
Best Actor.
Best Actor. And he
else was there?
Well, this is the thing. People always like, he wouldn't get it because it's a comedy. Tom Hanks, big. This is one of the nominations. And famously, this is the year Kevin Kline wins for A Fish Called Wanda. So I don't know what was the matter with There was no matter. It should be like this every year. But I don't know what was distinct within the.
Or is it a thing that they said like about this film? It can't go, or is it just in general?
No, just in general. They don't vote for comedies, do they? I don't know whether they even bothered putting Bill up for.
Yeah, with comedies they usually give it to screenplay.
Yes, Bridesmaids got a nomination. I can't remember who Bridesmaids lost to.
What did Jojo win?
Jojo won Best Adapted Screenplay.
Yeah.
But again, that's a serious comedy. That's a comedy dealing with big themes. Like we talked about this on the Fish Called Wanda episode. A Fish Called Wanda, one of the most perfect screenplays ever. Big, another great comedic screenplay. Bull Durham, another incredible comedic screenplay. All lose to Rain Man. Comedy is looked down upon. So yeah,
it's the hardest thing to do.
Exactly. It's fate. Yeah, no, that's the thing, isn't it? It is arguably the hardest thing to do, and it's looked down upon. Boule, 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 boule. I'm going to take a 2-minute break, Will, because I'm going to piss myself.
Live?
Oh yes, live.
You haven't seen, you can call a college roommate, you can call, an old army buddy.
Keep that tape rolling. This could
your
be
personal
history.
banker. Hey! I don't hear any partying in that boat, Elliot!
Great! You heard him party!
Now why wasn't I invited?
Now that was just an innocent window, and you saw what I did to that. I don't know who you're dealing with.
I mean, it's a night. You've got a party hardy, Marty. Look at this. Check this out. Whoa! Don't be so mean. Look at this. There's a rule. There's a tradition that says I have to kiss this girl on the lips. Well, she's just upholding the law. It's a federal law, actually. It's not just a state thing. Hey,
thank you. Whoa. Whoa. I love it. Get on, Frank.
Mr. Cummings.
And we are back. It's time for Will's favorite building or set.
Well, I think we all know the answer to this. It's that wonderful set of the Christmas show.
Oh, okay.
I love it. I think it's very nice.
Would you watch Scrooge with Buddy Hackett and Jamie Farr in real life cameos? You know, I don't. Obviously, those sort of cameos don't land for normal people of our age now. I don't know if they even land for you. Are you a Buddy Hackett fan?
No.
No, I laugh. I laugh at the Lee Major stuff. I love and Bob Goulet's old-fashioned Cajun Christmas with the alligator. Only on TBC. IBC, Jesus Christ, not TBC. You idiot. You fool. Best single minute, Will. Oh, no, I'll start.
All right.
Well, you start 10 minutes from now. Opening. The night the reindeer died. I remember the first time I ever watched this film, I thought, what is happening? I love it. I don't know what's happening, but I like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Boy, that was very good. But you know what? It wasn't great. There has only been one great. There is a girl that I wish I were with tonight. It's a girl that I loved a long time ago. A girl that I still love. It's Christmas Eve. It's not too late, is it? Claire, do you remember? Remember age 19, legs around like this, then this thing here. You circle me, chanting, burning incense before we begin. Tonight, I think we could do this without serious physical or psychological damage.
Taxi! Can you get me to the IBC building in 3 minutes?
Which floor?
Oh, deck the house with balls. Down we never gave a barrel. Go the agent goes like
Santa's Psychos sees Santa's workshop in the night the reindeer die. Only on IBC. And the rest of those great ads, you know, Father Loves Beaver, and an old-fashioned Cajun Christmas from Bob Goulet's old-fashioned Cajun Christmas. The censor, which we talked about with Charles Dickens would have wanted to see those nipples then. And the lunch with Bryce Cummings. We haven't talked about Bryce Cummings yet. He is an LA slime ball. Are you a Gremlins 2 fan, Will? Do you know Brian from Gremlins 2?
I couldn't. I do enjoy Gremlins 2, but I couldn't tell you
who he is. He's Clamp. He's the guy who runs the building. Yes, he's very good in that, and he's very good in this. Basically playing the same role. He's just a great slime ball, and he's just marvelous. And then the shelter, going to see Claire. Oh, another wild and woolly one. Oh, you get in here. Just all that, and then it's like, oh yeah, he's realised he needs Claire. He's going to take her away, but he's not changed himself. When Bill Murray came onto this film, the first thing he demanded was a script rewrite with lots more focus on the love story. That's what was missing in that first draft. And I think it is the reason I keep coming back to the film. That love story with Claire really is the backbone of the film. And I think, in a way, I think I mentioned this on Christmas Carol, Muppets Christmas Carol. That's what's missing from all Christmas Carol stuff. Is that, like, what's she called? Cora? Is she called Cora? Belle.
Yes, that's the reason why he is the way that he is. Because.
Yeah, but then get back with her. Sing to your fellow man. That's it for me. Single minute. Do you have any other single minutes?
I'd throw in the sort of elevator escape from the gun. That's a nice little.
Yeah, Loudermill. We've not talked about Elliot Loudermill. Let's talk about Elliot Loudermill now. For me, Bobcat Goldthwait maybe be more annoying than Carol Kane.
Oh. Okay.
Mr. Frank Cross.
That's good, mate.
You better watch out. You better not cry. It's got that weird voice where it's like, it's cracking. I mean, that's not how he sounds normally in interviews and stuff. That's like his comedic voice. Bobcat Goldthwait, now a very good director. He directed Robin Williams in a few great of his last movies. Directed a very good dark comedy called Sleeping Dogs Lie, about a couple, and the woman confesses that she fucked a dog once.
Ah.
That's what the sleeping dog is referring to. Do you have any other nominations for Best Single Minute one?
No.
I'm plowing through it today.
Got some work to do, that's what I'm thinking as fast as I can.
Best line.
Oh.
I'm going to stretch it out now. I'm going to go first. You have to do something. You have to take a chance. You do have to get involved. There are people that are having trouble making their miracle happen. There are people that don't have enough food to eat, or people that are cold. You can go out and say hello to these people. You can take an old blanket out of the closet and say, here. You can make them a sandwich and say, oh, by the way, here. I get it now. And if you give, then it can happen, then the miracle can happen to you. It's not just the poor and the hungry, it's everybody who's got to have this miracle, and it can happen tonight for all of you. If you believe in this spirit thing, the miracle will happen, and then you'll want it to happen again tomorrow. You won't be one of those bastards who says Christmas is once a year. It's a fraud. It's not. It can happen every day. You're just going to want that feeling, and if you like it, and if you want it, you'll get greedy for it. You'll want it every day of your life, and it can happen to you. I believe it now. I believe it's going to happen to me. I'm ready for it, and it's great. It's a good feeling. It's really better than I've had in a long time. Beautiful. Not the words, not mine. Well,
well done. I like I don't know. When he's
you didn't have anything written down, did you?
I don't have anything written down.
Jesus.
For the quotes.
Now, how did that happen? That happened because it's Christmas Eve, I'm telling you. I'm not crazy. It's Christmas Eve. It's the one night of the year when we all act a little nicer. We smile a little easier. We share a little more. For a couple of hours out of the whole year, we are the people that we always hoped we would be. It's a miracle. It's really a sort of a miracle because it happens every Christmas Eve. And if you waste that miracle, you're going to burn for it. I know what I'm talking about. You have to do something. You have to take a chance. You do have to get involved. There are people that are having trouble making their miracle happen. There are people that don't have enough to eat. There are people that are cold. You can go out and say hello to these people. You can take an old blanket out of the closet and say, here. You can make them a sandwich and say, oh, by the way, here. I get it now. And if you give, then it can happen. Then the miracle can happen to you. It's not just the poor and the hungry. It's everybody who's got to have this miracle. And it can happen tonight for all of you. If you believe in this spirit thing, the miracle will happen, and then you'll want it to happen again tomorrow. You won't be one of these bastards who says Christmas is once a year and it's a fraud. It's not. It can happen every day. You just got to want that feeling. And if you like it and you want it, you'll get greedy for it. You'll want it every day of your life, and it can happen to you. I believe in it now. I believe it's going to happen to me now. I'm ready for it. It's great. It's a good feeling. It's really better than I felt in a long time. I'm ready. Have a Merry Christmas.
I never like to go well enough to give it 12 sharp knives. That's a classic. No, you are a hallucination brought on by alcohol, Russian vodka, poisoned by Chernobyl. A lovely modernization of the what is it in Christmas Carol?
There's
undigested
more
beef
gravy than grave about you.
Yes, a bit of undigested beef.
It's very good. I do like that line.
Yeah, it's just good. What's left from Will's notes?
What's the we've talked about the Richard Pryor. I love that. Is that improvised?
No. I mean, I guess maybe the Richard Pryor gag was that they can't improvise the fire effect.
No.
You know what is not improvised and is a genuine mistake is him falling at the end of that scene. Is him slipping on the water.
Oh, that's great. I like going back to the shotgun scene. I like the webby, the little. Can you give me a head start? That's great. And that's it from mine. That's it.
It's not from Tom's notes. Let's talk about this great Danny Elfman score. La 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 la. I think it really adds some gravitas to it. I think it really does get into that dark stuff.
You were listening to some Danny Elfman the other day on Spotify.
Was I?
According to my computer, yes.
Oh yes, I was. Oh yes, you have. Oh yeah.
I bought it now.
You've bought Spotify.
Yeah, I'm now the owner.
Oh, Spotify. Oh yeah, okay. So you can see what I'm listening to. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to stop listening to what's a joke I could make? I can't think of one. Mother, help me. Frank's TV ads. International terrorism, acid rain, highway killers. Now more than ever, it is important to know the real meaning of Christmas. Scrooged on IBC. Your life may just depend on it. The street band. Do you know who's in the street band?
I don't.
Miles Davis.
Really?
Yeah, the trumpet player. That's Miles Davis.
Oh,
and they're and Paul Shear. Paul Schaefer. Sorry. Paul Schaefer, the bald guy who does the David Letterman stuff, and he's in the It's a Very Merry Christmas. They're good friends, so they all got roped in. Lou, you paid for the women. All of the Murrays are in this. We've got Brian Doyle Murray as his dad, and we've got the other Murray, who wasn't really in much, as his brother. Who's your favourite Murray? Let's rank
Bill Murray.
Yeah, let's rank the other two Murrays.
I don't really know.
I guess Brian Doyle Murray. Brian Doyle Murray's also great in Caddyshack and Vacation. Brian Doyle Murray shows up, and in Groundhog Day, as the mayor.
Yeah.
Brian Doyle shows up a lot more, so I guess we have to give it to him. And the other one.
That sounds like a good sort of, you know, the other woman. The other Murray. It's the three Murray brothers.
Are you a Total Recall fan, Will? Oh no, he's frozen. William Leggetter is frozen for our video watch, and he's back. Are you a fan of Total Recall, Will?
For our video watchers.
Are you a fan of Total Recall? I'm not asking it again. Are you a fan of Total Recall, Will?
Total Recall? Yeah.
You know the guy with the sweat? He's in this.
I was going to make a political, topical joke, but I've forgotten his name. Rudy.
Rudy Giuliani. No, Rudy Giuliani. No, not Rudy Giuliani. The guy from Total Recall. I'd watch. Do you remember when Rudy Giuliani was America's mayor? Why was he called America's mayor? Well,
I don't know. Why was he called America's mayor?
Because he was the New York 9/11 mayor.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Really?
So he got the nickname America's mayor because he did pretty good work. Terrible guy now, clearly a pederast.
A bit downhill.
But he did do excellent work in the 9/11 stuff, so they called him America's mayor.
Like Diana.
I don't. You know what the worst thing about Crown season 4? Is that?
Oh no! Don't spoil it. I'm about to start Crowd season 1 today.
No. I just mean that like all my news feed is just all Diana stuff, and I keep getting upset.
It's
like
very upsetting.
The world didn't deserve her and Dodie. I was thinking, like, what's the alternate universe where she lives? I mean, this is a very dark Tom's Big Question. What if Diana lived?
Yeah.
But like, is she? I mean, she was loved then. She was divisive. But like, what does the world look like now if Diana's alive?
I don't think she would have done anything. I think she would have just kept out of the limelight. And settled down.
Yeah. Would Charles have still? I think Charles would have married Camilla a bit quicker. Actually, the only reason he waited a little bit, he didn't wait long. The only reason he did wait a little bit was because of Diana's death. What did she say to Martin Bashir? The marriage was a little bit crowded. There were 3 of us. Oh, what a
yeah. But that interview where Charles is like, yeah, marriage, whatever you define as marriage, and love, yeah, and they're both just looking.
What sort of Jingle Bell song is Grace Cooley singing? It's like jingle, 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 jingle. That's not a song. It's not how Jingle Bells goes. You know, they could definitely get the rights to Jingle Bells. I love when Bill drops the baby. He's like, come here, come here. Oh, I'm kidding. It's just a doll. It's a law. There's a law that says, I gotta kiss this woman. And then she kisses him, and that was good. But it wasn't great. Right, here's a question. How do we feel about him kissing that woman? I always found it really weird. Like, it's a nice sentiment of like, it was good, but it wasn't great. There was only one great. But like, why does he kiss her when he's about to like confess his love to Claire?
I mean, it was definitely a heat of the moment comedic improv.
It's a law. She's only upholding the law.
It's like when I did Grace and I was playing Sonny, and one of the nights when Miss Lynch was doing a big speech, I went up and kissed her, and it's very funny.
Sonny, that would probably work in the original film because they're probably both
the same age.
Yeah, probably the same age. Sorry. They're both applying for the pensions. They can discuss that. Alternate ending corner. There isn't one here, but there are lots of fun facts because basically Bill Murray and Richard Donner had a terrible working relationship here. Bill Murray and Richard Donner reportedly did not enjoy working together. When asked if film critic Roger Ebert, when asked by Roger Ebert if he had any disagreements with Donner, Murray replied, "Only a few. Every single minute of the day. That could have been a really, really great movie. The script was so good. Then there's maybe one take in the final cut movie that is mine. We made it so fast, it was like doing a movie live. He kept telling me to do things louder, louder, louder. I think he was deaf." Now, here's where I'm going to come to Richard Donner's defense. You need him to be so over the top in the first half, or else you don't get the pathos of the change. That's how all Christmas Carol movies work. That's how it has to be. When the Ghost of Christmas Past grabbed Bill Murray's lip, she tore it so badly that filming was halted for several days. So every time I know that fact, and so every time I watch it, I go, "Oh!" Did you know, Will, that filming began in December of 1987? Because usually they film Christmas movies in like the summer. But with Christmas approaching, director Richard Donner asked if the production could have Christmas Day off. But Paramount Pictures executives refused, insisting that filming should continue on Christmas Day. However, Donner outwitted them. At the end of the day, on December the 24th, he officially fired the entire cast and crew. 2 days later, he officially rehired everyone. The break allowed the cast and crew to spend Christmas with their families.
That's very good. I like that. That's also a parallel of the plot of A Christmas Carol. Because Bob's like, "Oh, please can we have Christmas Day off?" And Scrooge is like, no, Bob Cratchit, you can't.
This is another weird thing about the Bill Murray thing. So, like, this was his first starring role in a film since 1984 with Ghostbusters. Basically, he'd been living in Paris, studying philosophy and cooking, and was, like, considering giving up acting.
Oh.
That's just a real thing that Bill Murray did for 4 years that nobody talks about. So, it was a bit like James Stewart. I mean, Bill Murray obviously didn't go to war, but James Stewart was remarkably nervous about coming and doing It's a Wonderful Life, and Bill was remarkably nervous because also this is like his first film on his own.
This was like his comeback, wasn't it? Yeah.
But also, like, it's one of his first solo movies. Like, you look at Ghostbusters, you look at Stripes, you look at Caddyshack especially. All of these movies are ensemble movies. This is the first one. Obviously, we know about Groundhog Day, but that's like 90s. Like, this was the first of multiple where he was on his own. Jack McGee ad-libbed his line, "You can hardly see them nipples." On the do you want me to warm your heart, Will?
Oh, please.
On the Frisbee show with the dog suit, there is a tree on the set with a heart engraving that says, "Dick loves Lauren." This is referring to director Richard Donner and his wife and producer Lauren Schuler Donner.
Did I forget something, big man?
God bless us, everyone.
Lumpy, no.
Oh, they're like boating a marlin. Clear the whole world clear. And they lived happily ever after.
Richard Donner wasn't convinced that Robert Mitchum would agree to a small part, so he invited the actor to meet with Bill Murray. Donner recalled, he came in and we never got a word in edgeways. He's so wonderful with stories and we didn't want to talk. The minute you get around Bill, you're swooning. Everybody is. So what is it about working with him that's so terrible?
Maybe it's just difficult because of the improv and is very sort of like confident. It's a big character and it's hard to sort of control him.
Well, Groundhog Day was also like this. He really wanted all this improv, and obviously gives us the film that we so love today. But it ruined Harold Ramis and Bill Murray's relationship for many, many years. They only reconciled when Harold Ramis was given his death note. Like and they had to reconcile. And then obviously that incredible Oscars moment. That's one of my all-time favorite Oscars moments is him and Amy Adams doing, I think it's best cinematography. And at the end of it, he goes, "Oh, and we missed one off. Harold Ramis for Ghostbusters, Caddyshack, and Groundhog Day." And everybody gives it a standing ovation. Honestly, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Bill Murray ad-libbed most of his lines. Richard Donner talks about the experience, saying, "It's like standing on 42nd Street and Broadway and the lights are out and you're the traffic cop." So that's apparently what it's like working with Bill Murray. Bill Murray turned down lead roles in 3 1988 movies to make this film. Cocktail. Any guesses on the others?
1988.
They're movies that we talked. They're movies that we talked about at the Oscars.
Oh right, okay. Big.
Yep.
And then the other one, the Rain Man.
Rain Man and Big.
Wow.
Who, big I get, obviously, but I don't think works because he's like...
Who would he
old.
have been in Rain Man?
I was going to say, are they casting him as serious as Charlie? Or are they casting him as Ray? Well, we know that he can do serious work. I'm sure that he would have done a really good performance as Ray. I don't know.
I don't think it would have worked with him.
No, I dare say I agree with you, Will. Tom's big question. Why is Wendy crying at... I mean, grief affects people in different ways, but Wendy's like pretty heavily crying at the funeral of Frank in the future.
Yeah.
I guess. Why do they call people
It's
cry?
just an emotional time.
Yeah. Why is it called Scrooge?
Scrooged?
No, Scrooge. Why do they call the TV show Scrooge and not A Christmas Carol? It always annoys me. It annoys me. It annoys me so much. It's like Charles Dickens' immortal classic, Scrooge. So for years, I thought that in America they called A Christmas Carol Scrooge, but they don't. It's called A Christmas Carol.
Do they not?
Yeah.
They probably. It's one of those Americanisms where they're just all lazy and a bit thick.
A Christmas Carol. Who's Carol? Call it Scrooge. There's no Carol in it. There's no Carol in it.
It's that Mitch and the Webb sketch. If you're gonna do a movie called Rebecca, there's gotta be a dame called Rebecca.
And then we have Frank never like clocks the comparison of like that he's living A Christmas Carol. I mean, I really don't want a cringy line. I don't want, what am I in A Christmas Carol or something? I don't know what the cringy line would be.
I don't think it would be that.
Yeah, God, I really have been Scrooged. But like, he doesn't go, oh, very clever, yeah, do the ghost thing. That I don't know, he just never acknowledges that he's...
I'd quite like when he's being held out of the building, being dangled out.
This wasn't in the book.
Down, he goes, you boy, what day is this? Just as he's being attacked.
It's like, oh, that was quicker than expected. Okay, come back. Buy me the biggest goose in London. We're not in London, Mr. Kratz. He's cracked. I dare say that Elliot Loudermilk's marriage wasn't that good before.
Yeah.
If she had left him straight away and taken the kids like by the day, I dare say that it can't have been that good.
Maybe because he carries a shotgun with him.
That is true. We completely skipped what's the change.
We have.
What's your change?
The sort of the middle-y ghosty section, it feels a bit... I'd even say Ghost of Christmas, the taxi driver, it feels a bit long and a bit dragged on.
I completely disagree.
Oh,
I call this a perfect film.
Of course.
No, particularly pace-wise.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I do. I think it flies by every time. And I do think it is remarkably well paced. Which particular part are we talking about?
I think it's when they're in the house.
Oh, with the veal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, you got to have that, but I never enjoyed that part in any adaptation of Scrooge.
But I do love all the Claire stuff. Like they show that relationship so fully in that time. You know, do you shop here often, or should I just walk on the other side of the street? Rum pum pum. The Kama Sutra bit. Said no. Buddy of mine did that. I did that. Yeah, I did that. I don't like the man laughing at the boardroom meeting. I mean, it's you know, it's a good gag, but like, I really don't like Hallelujah playing when he comes out the elevator. I think that's too on the nose. I'd rather just hear some triumphant Danny Elfman music. I don't need Hallelujah. I don't need the Hallelujah chorus. Yeah, I would want Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah to start playing.
Alexandra Burke.
Jesus. Also,
there was a secret.
Also, for me, Ghost of Christmas Future in this doesn't work because I don't think Grace ever. I don't think Claire ever would turn into that. I don't think she ever would. You know, scrape them off. I don't think she ever would turn into that. So,
but I don't think I've always thought that the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come doesn't show him the future. I think they show him a really alternate sort of future where it's ranked up to the extreme and to really push him. I don't think that would ever happen in the future of A Christmas Carol. Yeah. But I think that's the point. So.
Yeah, indeed. Well, the reason that What's the Change is usually in the middle is so that we don't end on a negative note. But this is where we are, unfortunately, ending today. I adore Scrooged. It's my second favourite. It's my favourite Christmas Carol. Next up, we have Polar Express, which is a movie that I adamantly dislike. I adamantly dislike this movie.
And I don't think I've loved a movie more, ever. I hate those episodes when I'm really passionate about something and you shit on me.
No, because those episodes, you've always got people to back you up.
Yeah.
Like Muppets Christmas. Well, no, I liked Muppets Christmas Carol. I still think it was a little bit long, but you always like About Time. It was 3v1. You've always got people on your side.
I've got such a good influence over people.
You haven't influenced them, Will. They like the movie anyway. That's why they're on the show. No, but Will, it has been a pleasure. Go on, do your Calvin. God bless us, everyone.
God bless everyone.
No, definitely not. Let's try that one again.
sound like Godfather.
Yeah. Look how they massacred my boy. Look how they massacred my son. You call on me. He wants to talk business at the funeral. I was looking for Bob Cranston.
It's like that with the Trip sketch where they're doing Batman and who is it? Oh, it's Bane and it's like why does he? Someone told him, and then Bane comes along.
You're a big guy. Still great. I stand by Down Rises. You can hate me. I don't care.
I mean, yeah, I think it's.
And I think Bane's excellent. I don't care.
It's fine with what he had to work with.
Yeah.
Because obviously it was going to be another Joker sort of.
It was supposed to be Silence of the Lambs. It was supposed to be him dealing with Bane whilst having Hannibal Lecter-esque visits to the asylum to talk with Joker about it, which sounds like one of the most incredible films. Silence of the Lambs and The Dark Knight.
Yeah, and at the end, Joker, it was his plan the whole time and he's escaped and now he's leaving the whole thing. Been good. That's what would have happened.
I thought you were going to say at the end, Bane does a dance where he tucks his penis between his legs.
Oh, it's raining. I thought I heard rain. And on that note,
I was wondering why you went silent. It was like you were smelling burnt toast. It's like you just went so dead. It's like when I was sat eating a Nando's next to Kristen Chenoweth and I noticed it was her and my girlfriend at the time thought I'd had a stroke because I was like, it's and she was like, "Are you okay?" She like.
Oh. It's been a pleasure, Tom.
I love. I always pleasure myself when I'm with you, Will.
Thank you.
Da